Welcome back to the counselor's office. Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back with some more this week in Destiny. And boy, do I feel like the crap storm is about to hit. This week in Destiny, we are twitting a bit early. Cute. Thursday is Thanksgiving in the United States, and many of Bungie are taking a day to spend time with their loved ones. Kind of like the hundreds of people that you laid off, because I'm sure they're going to have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Also the TWID before season launches, but let's not get ourselves. Here we are talking about our latest collab, the seasonal artifact and its perks, changes to abilities next season, and many exotic armor pieces too. Fireteam Finder beta, new cutscenes added to our archive, no one cares. Destiny 2 expansions are on sale. Isn't that funny? Don't you want to buy our game? It's on sale. You've heard so much good things about it. All right, let's get into it. Yes, Witcher, because this is what you want to do, is try to sell more crap. We all know that you're hurting for cash. And I'll be honest, the armor, like, they always make armor look good, but when you get in game, it looks like total dumpster fire. Like, some of it looks good. But I've learned never buy what you look at when in the picture. It always looks better than what it really does. Like, things glow when they don't actually glow in game. They look sleeker than they really do in game. So I'm first off, if you're getting excited, I'd wait till you see it in game before you just, blow your load. Second off, this is where people who like to speak with their money are going to either be hypocritical or they're going to be true to what their values are. If you think that Bungie does not deserve your money, then don't buy this, because it's another $100 cash grab that you can't earn in-game. So keep that in mind. New artifact. We're getting new artifact. I do not care about any of these. We are focusing on 3 elements: solar, strand, and stasis. So you can expect that those will be the things that are focused on in GMs and in-game content. Or anti-barriers, because I always like this to see what variety I'm going to use. And since this is a longer season, this is what you're going to expect to use for like 6 or 7 extra months. Anti-barrier sidearms. Which, it's whatever. Sidearms are kind of a meme, but Kinetic Tremors is a perk that's good. Sidearms, it might be all right. Unstoppable hand cannon, that's a plus. Hand cannon's got a buff. They feel great, so I'm okay with this. Unstoppable bow, again, bows dominant. We have some good anti-champion bows, like Tiku's Divination. This might be pretty hot. Overload auto rifles, again, Quicksilver is going to be your go-to, and maybe Necrochasm. Overload pulse rifle. Pulse rifles kind of are mid in in-game PvE, so we'll see. Then we have all these extra things. Flame Fiber and Freeze combines the Solar Strand. Siphon mods, Kindling Trigger. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. That's not going to be as good as you would think it is, because it doesn't stack. Blast Radius, Rapid Fire Blows with rocket launchers. Grant armor charge. Specialization, these are pointless to me. From whence you came, increase ability damage taken and scorn combatants. Okay, so okay. We've got Flint Striker, rapid solar weapons, precision hits, and solar weapon fire blows grant radiant. So that's gonna be nice. I can see Vex being hot with that. Torch. While Radiant deal increased damage to combatants affected by Strand and Stasis debuffs. Alright, Team Synergy. Heart of the Flame, casting your Solar Super grants nearby allies Radiant increases. So this is just a good way to use your Well of Radiance. Wish into Being. While your Super is nearly fully charged, the ability Final Blow spawn Orbs of Power. Wearing seasonal Wish armor decreases Super amount threshold. That sounds really good. And I'm going to be honest. That actually gives you a reason to use the stupid armor. Column 4. Unraveling Orbs. Orbs grant strand weapons unraveling rounds. That's cool. Good to see it back. Pillar of Ice, killing an encased combatant spawns stasis crystals. Nice. Revitalizing Blast, causing damage with solar ability, weakens damages. Weakens champions and bosses for a short duration. That's nice. Bonk Hammer, sounds juiced. Overload rocket launchers. Oh. Okay, so Hothead is coming out, so it might actually shine you with this. I said it in my video about reviewing about Hothead. I said, no one's going to use this unless there's a place where it can fit. I think this is it right here. Overloads suck, and the fact that you could just hit it with a rocket might be good. Dragon's Bite. Breaking a combatant's shield with a strand or stasis weapon has a chance to suspend or freeze that combatant. Wearing... Oh, okay, cool. Column 5. This is usually the big boy stuff, so let's find out. Forge Shuttle. Damaging unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a threading. Mid. Hail the Storm. Shattering encased targets and stasis crystals deal increased damage. Okay. Shattering a stasis crystal releases shards of ice that damage and slow targets. Okay. Rays of Precision. While radiant, solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite. That's nasty. You use Vex. Okay. I'm just thinking where could Vex shine? And against champions, that being able to cause explosions, very nice. Solo Operative. While you are the only member of your fire team, you deal increased damage to all combatants. That's what you need to use for Flawless right there. Solo Operative is fantastic for solo Flawless dungeons. Argent Ordnance. Firing a rocket launcher consumes 1 stack of armor charge, granting increased damage and reload speed until you reload or stow your rocket. Rockets are on the menu, boys. They are hot. Yeah, this is probably the most broken that some of these abilities are. Like the solar synergy is disgusting. And it's always when there's no raids. I don't understand why we can't have fun with raids. Like, you could literally disable some of this stuff for day 1 and be like, okay, after that, you guys can have fun. Whatever. Ability changes coming next week. Here's a preview of coming sandbox tuning to Season of the Wish and beyond. To set the stage, let's lay out our overall goals for this release. I don't like this. Ensuring that abilities, particularly those in our longer cooldown tiers, are meeting our intended cost to output ratio. Reducing cases of player survivability that exceed our power bar. Making first steps at Well Radiance and Ward of Dawn tuning. I smell nerfs. Taking a tuning pass on stasis abilities, with more to come in the future. Yeah, stasis sucks. Let's get started. We've laid this out a number of times in previous posts, but it's worth repeating. We believe that powerful abilities need to come at a meaningful cost to players. To force difficult decisions about what fits best in their build. To put it plainly, we're not hitting that goal. There are many buildcraft avenues that grant flat chunks of ability energy, ignore ability cooldown tiers. This gives them extremely inconsistent values depending on what grenade, melee, or class ability you have equipped. Here's an example. A perk that grants 10% energy on activation results in a cooldown reduction of 6.4 seconds to a firebolt, or results in a cooldown reduction of 15.2 seconds of lightning grenade. Okay. When players stack these buildcraft elements together, grenade, intervention, absolution, demolitionist, chunk energy, fragment, it results in long cooldown abilities having uptime that is dramatically higher than what we tend for their potency level. But here's the thing. How much of this do you have to put into your build? Like, this is a build. They are building into it. I just... That's the point of build crafting, is you could have a strong build. Like, even in Diablo 4, you can literally make strong builds if you build into it. That's the beauty of being able to make builds, is you build into something, a stat, a potential. Whatever. The results, yada yada. With Season of the Wish, we're taking the first step addressing that problem, starting in whatever. The base passive cooldown tiers for abilities will also influence the amount of chunk energy they receive from perks. For our fastest charging abilities, things are not changing, but yeah, because no one uses them because they're bad. As we progress through the passive cooldown tier and the lower charging abilities, The immediate burst of energy will be reduced to a floor of 50% of base of our slowest charging grenade and class abilities and 60% of our slowest charging melee abilities. Here's the example under the new system. Sorry, I'm sicky icky. A day before Thanksgiving. Isn't that great? Here's an example. A perk that grants a value of 10% energy on activation results in a cooldown reduction of 6.4 seconds of Fireball. And the result is a cooldown reduction of 7.6 seconds of lightning grenades. Okay, so instead of getting a double lit, it's getting about the same. With Season of the Wish, we're only implementing the change for grenade, melee, and class abilities. Perks that add super energy are unchanged. Yeah, because no one cares about those. No one cares about super energy. No one actually gives a crap. It is probably intellect and all that crap is probably the worst crap in the game. That's why you're not changing it, because no one gives a crap. It has no use. We're also excluding any perk that either intentionally grants a full refund, like knock them down, or targets only a single specific ability like Shinobu's Vow. These will work identically to the behavior. Yeah, because if you do that, you'll kill them. No one will touch them. In our play testing, this results in more of an intended variance between high and low uptime abilities and opportunity cost that more closely matches potency. But we don't expect or desire that anyone's build is going to be made obsolete overnight by this change. We're going to keep iterating on this new system going forward. So expect future updates as we see how plays out alongside all of you. I think this is just bad. I think it's bad. I don't think you should be punished to build into something. Like, now you can make it cost more to build into it. That's a way you circumvent that. Like, if I want to have grenade ability, I can't have both grenades and melee builds. I have to choose one if I want to do all this. Whatever. Staying alive. As our roster of player elected difficulty PED activities has expanded in recent years, we've shifted the sandbox to enable more of our often risky gameplay loops to feel effective against increasingly difficult lineup of combatants. This has been seen in the addition of defense or support focused tools, including the standardization of overshields, expanded access to healing through restoration and cure, the development of keywords like woven. Yeah, these are like your support stuff. However, we still need our aspirational content to remain challenging. But you know how you do this? You actually make content that's actually challenging. That doesn't revolve around level or champions. It is actually designed. Like, I know it's a hard thing to do about putting actual effort into something and crafting something that's actually challenging based on its maybe a puzzle or trying to do a specific challenge in it. I don't know. Like, what happened to the encounters that wasn't about damage, and it was more about coordination and teamwork and being able to strategize? That's not a thing that exists because you don't make enough encounters like that. It's usually big boss, do damage, you live, you die, that's it. That's Destiny in a nutshell. We're currently in a position where applying combat pressure to a well-built craft player is extremely difficult. A well-built crafted player is extremely difficult. Again, that is what you should be able to do. Is like, if I am kitted out, I should be good. What should challenge me is the encounter. Not the level of it, not the enemies. It is the encounter, what you're asking me to achieve, to do. Which doesn't leave our activity teams with many options for tuning difficulty while still having things feel fair across a broad spectrum of player types. In short, player survivability at the top end is too high. A problem we've touched in on the past. We need to find a better balance between two extremes of enabling players to heedlessly dive into the fray or making it feel long-range chip damage is the only option to clear an encounter. To that end, we're making an initial pass at that tuning some of our top-end outliers, but we anticipate that this will be a process that takes place over many releases. You won't last that long. so that we can ensure that things are trending in a healthy way. So again, they're just going to nerf the player. I don't even need to read the rest, and I can tell you they're going to nerf the player. And instead of actually making the game itself difficult or challenging, and encounters that are challenging or unique, we're just going to nerf the player to make you feel worse. Guess what? Diablo 4 did that, and Blizzard received a lot of hate because it makes the game feel worse. That's not challenging. There's no challenge in making the player worse. That's not challenge. That's not what a challenge is. Hey guys, we're just going to nerf you and good luck. We're not changing in the game or anything else. We're just going to make you worse as a player. Doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter what kind of build you have. We're just going to make you worse. Whatever. Woven Mail, reducing damage. It is I do agree. I think it was crazy. This is a hot take. I do think it's a good change. It was so weird that Woven Mail was so hot. And I think they did that because they really wanted Strand to sell. So I'm actually in agreement with this. I don't think Woven Mail should have been that crazy. Restoration. They're nerfing Restoration. Great. Which it was already nerfed once, so let's nerf it again. Old, you got 40 HP. Now you're getting 35, and it gets getting nerfed in PvP too. Okay. Reduce healing rate times 2. 65, and now is 50. So 15 points less. So it's just going to feel worse to use. Great. So if people want to build into support, now they have no reason to. Good. Devour. Great. Whose potency is largely due to the ease of use of the Echo Starvation fragment, which was initially developed when there were fewer orbs of power being granted. We're making a targeted change to Devour that excludes Voidwalkers. Thank you. Because, I mean, that's what Warlocks need. Reducing its heal amount from 200 to 100 unless Feed the Storm is equipped. Or Feed the Void is equipped. Thank God. At least Warlocks, where it came from, isn't being punished. For our Voidwalkers out there, we're also increasing the amount of grenade energy that Woo! To offset the chunk. Yeah, okay. So Warlocks, I may have to go back to being a Warlock main because Devour's still feeling good. And probably one of the best healing parts of the game. But everyone else sucks to be you, I guess. Healing mount both on activation when refreshed. So even activating it won't save you. If you're just going to die, you're dead. I think that's kind of crap. I think on activation it should be full. But afterward it should be 100. I agree that it could be changed. Because getting a kill may not be as easy, especially in game, but whatever. Now it refills both shield and sections more smoothly. So instead of it being one, it's both. Okay. Feed the Void, increase grenade regeneration. Also improves the strength of Devour heal when equipped. Thank you. Sprint and Slide. In update, we made a decision to remove the capability for shoulder charge to one shot. This was part of the ongoing effort to make sure that any one shot ability in the game comes with significant risk or cost. Yeah, like Pocket Nova, all that stuff I used to cheese with, and it was so fun. Granted, it was annoying. And it looks like Weird Titans, you're getting nerfed. Sucks to be you. Even Warlocks, because Warlocks was doing the little strike. But it's good to see that Titans are getting nerfed. No more brain dead moron Titans running into the fray and doing a shoulder charge cancel shotgun punch. Get wrecked, nerds. Honestly, it's annoying, and I'm glad it's gone. Especially with the fact that all my PvE stuff gets nerfed because of PvP. It's good to see that PvP gets slapped in the face once. Yeah, complain about bows again, Titans. Tempest Strike, increased damage. Yeah, Tempest Strike kind of sucks, so it really needs some love. I'm glad to see that they're actually increasing damage instead of just flat nerfing things. They're actually bonk hammer, Banner of War. Like, I knew Banner of War was coming. I knew it, which is ironic because they even said in a Q&A that Banner of War was in a good place. Yep, sure. Yeah, sure. With Season of the Witch, released Banner of War, which has quickly jumped to the top of the aspect list for Titan players. It's currently equipped for nearly 20% of all Titan playtime for the Season of the Witch PvE activities, because it's fun. This is rivaled, but only by the Fray at 15% of playtime, which Banner's natural parent. We're very happy with the way Banner of War has supported the Berserker class fantasy and don't want to reduce its ability to do so when at maximum charge. However, it's currently easy to build up that maximum charge very quickly in content with sufficient density combatants, especially with the help of your teammates. With Season of the Wish, we're making a change to slow down the charge progression, increasing the number of defeats required to level the banner up at each tier. As part of this change, we're also slightly increasing the timer extension granted by each enemy defeat to compensate. Okay. That is a lot. What? They nerf weapons and other armor pieces to the ground, but they actually did a balance? Like, this sounds good. Fix the issue where unpowered swords were being granted damage boost by Banner of War. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, so it will take more time to do, which is fine. It's not hard if you're playing smart, but it will have increased time, which is my opinion was the most annoying thing about it, was how little time you got for killing things. So that's a good change. I will take that. Let's talk about Bonk. Prior to Solar 3.0, the throwing hammer was in the Code of Devastator subclass tree, which didn't have much in way of survivability tools, other than picking up the hammer after hits. This meant that players needed to be significantly more careful in their play and generally weren't as capable of standing in a champion's or boss's face with impunity while they chucked a hammer at its torso over and over again. While this makes for a fun visual, we don't believe this behavior is healthy for the game. So alongside the changes of the restoration detail, yeah, so literally Titans, they killed Titans. Like, why use a Titan anymore? This is the part that I don't understand. Hey, we're going to nerf your stuff and we're not going to buff anything else. I know Stasis is coming, but I'm looking at everything else. Like, Arc Titan is a joke. It is a literal joke in PvE in-game. It has no viability. Even Void Titan is a joke. But my God, they really want you to not use Banner, or you want use the Banner of War. They want you to use Strand and not touch Solar, because Solar is just garbage now. While this makes for a visual throwing hammer breakdown, let's just get to what they're doing. So to that end, picking up a throwing hammer will now return its energy over a short duration rather than instantly. We're also increasing the projectile tracking strength so the players can choose the chunk. So when picked up, now returns melee energy over 1.4 seconds rather than instantly. So 1.4 seconds. I'm gonna time real quick. I just want to see how. It's very interesting to me. Timer. Okay. Through my bonk hammer, I'm picking it up now. That's actually I'm at 1.78 seconds. That actually is not bad. So will it actually give the full energy or only give you some energy? Because that's not bad. I mean, it does slow you down, but that's not bad. If you play smart, that actually is not bad. That's not, it might not be dead. It may not be dead. We'll see. If it does not give you full energy, then it's dead. Part of this equation is also Sol Invictus, which offers reliable safe havens and sunspots. Similarly to our throwing hammer changes, we don't want to discourage players who want to move from position to position, advancing through combat space, but we do want to make sure that players who bunker in dangerous positions, such as the feet of a boss, aren't able to do so for so long. Reduce maximum duration from 20 to 12 seconds. This duration only ever reached when the player is standing inside the sunspot. Sunspot duration without the owner standing inside remains unchanged at 5 seconds. Dude, Titans got the fat L this my God. 12 Radiance, Ward of Dawn. We're making changes to the super cooldowns, placing Well of Radiance and Ward of Dawn in the fastest recharging tier. This decision was largely based on their kill potential versus supers that deal burst damage or allow you to roam the field for potential team wipes. The game has changed significantly since then, really. And then changes to Trial of Cyrus, Dominion as the game mode, and shorter round times in general. We want to reevaluate their placement. The Season of the Witch, we're increasing their base cooldown times by 1 tier, matching the passive cooldowns of some of our burst supers, like Blade Barrage and Chaos Reach. Our goal for Well and Ward is to have stronger competition and round-based modes. Yeah, so it's getting a fat L in PvE, which most people, cool. Yeah. On a longer time frame, we're evaluating Well and Ward's place in the sandbox more fundamentally. These two supers are currently operating in too similar a space, leaving little room for them to breathe on their own. I mean, what'd you expect when you made them? Well of Radiance is particularly offers too much and is effective and its ineffective and vulnerability is not something we believe the sandbox can or should continue to support. We're not making further changes to Well Ward with Season of Wish, but we have a suite of changes planning to reduce Well's dominance in PvE and pushing the gameplay space of these two supers further apart. What I expect to happen is they're going to nerf Well. Well will no longer heal. It will just be a damage buff, and Bubble will just be the survivability tech. I expect Well to be just stationary damage. That, or they're going to remove the damage and let Bubble be the damage buff. In which case, people are just going to stack Bubbles and Wells together. I don't think that's going to change much. Whatever. I'm not like... My concern is, are they going to balance the entire game on the changes as well? Because Well currently... The game is currently based on Well and Bubble. And so if you make those weaker, some encounters are going to be overly challenging. And it's not going to be fun. Granted, I think day ones are meant to be a challenge. And like, for instance, Crota, it was a necessity to have a Well. Or even a Titan with Soul Invictus. Or whatever. Like, you had to have some kind of healing to survive. In most instances. The near and slightly farther future of Stasis. A week and a half ago, Stasis turned 3 years old. A lot happened. Listen, I love my Warlock Stacy build. Like, the Stacy turrets are so fun. And anything for me is a net positive. In fact, I might be a Warlock main again. I've been doing a lot of Titan, Hunter back and forth, but I may be a Warlock main again. I might be putting the dress back on. We added Strand as a 5th damage type in Lightfall, and the overall power bar of the sandbox has shifted significantly, resulting in Stasis feeling like it's been left behind. We've given Stasis some tuning updates here and there, but we believe it's time to give it a bigger shot in the arm. Starting Season of the Witch, Wish. God, too many W's and I's. Wish, and continuing in the final shape, we're making a number of quality of life changes to improve Stasis, reliability, and combat, and we're reevaluating some of our previous tuning changes for Stasis abilities with the goal of bringing them up to the current ability power bar. Let's start with the Fragment Suite. For this release, we focused on our stats, bonuses, penalties, removing those that felt unnecessary, tweaking them to make underperforming picks a little bit more attractive, or shifting them to better suit the gameplay of Fragments. Hedrons of a Whisper of Hedrons. That penalty is gone. Plus 10 resilience. No longer... Okay, Shards. Yeah, Shards is kind of like the go-to pick. So no longer... It was the go-to. I see it. Stat penalty changed from negative mobility to negative intellect to just 20 strength. Yikes. Whisper Bonds. Removed discipline. Okay. Our Hunters. We're making changes targeted at improving the reliability of Withering Blade. I always thought this melee was a meme. So speed is increased, maximum projectile lifetime 10%, bounce to 2 to 3, tracking consistency. Winter Shroud is getting an update to be more forgiving against PvE combatants with a longer slow duration, increased area effect. We're also increasing its slow stat count against PvE combatants from 40 to 60, enabling things like 6th Coyote to more easily freeze enemies. I like how they're really wanting people to use this. Or for a freeze to occur more quickly after a quick Duskfield dodge combo. So net positive. For Titans, I don't think this is going to change much. I don't. These seem like, that seems like a mid. For Hunter, this just seems very mid to me. Very mid. For Titans, we're walking back a few changes made in hotfixes, yada yada, for Shiver Strike and Glacial Quake that no longer fit the current sandbox. We've returned the ability to freeze nearby players on cast of Glacial Quake with a reduced radius from its previous version, making it cast in close quarters significantly safer than its current iteration. For Quiver Strike, we've restored its slow application to players on hit. This was previously removed in a world where collision damage was still lethal to players. Now that targets don't need to be able to air brake with a movement mode or risk being splattered, we're more comfortable giving Shiver Strike a bit more offensive spice. Now slows players on hit. A fixed issue would not function with Kickstarter armor mods. Okay, so PvE, great, no one cares. Or PvP, sorry, no one cares. Glacial Freeze, nearby on cast, whatever. Oh, no one cares. Any PvE changes? Howl of the Storm, fixed an issue where Howl of the Storm was consistently freezing targets, not consistently targets, in contact with the created stasis crystals. Players, again, PvP. Or, yeah, this is all PvP. Titans, you really got that fat L in PvE. Like, Titans got a fat L. No love. Someone does not like Titans. For Warlock, we're making a couple of quality of life improvements to Frost Pulse and Penumbral Blast. Uh-oh, I don't like Frost Pulse being nerfed. Shadebinder is a strong pick already, and we don't feel like it needs much of a push. So we're focusing on areas where it can sometimes fail the reliability test. Frost Pulse area of effect is being increased against PvE combatants, and we're improving its network performance. Frost Pulse, significantly increased consistency against fast-moving targets. This change involves reworking how this ability applies freeze to targets and reducing the latency between when the ability is activated and when the target is actually frozen. Freeze detonation size versus PvE combatants increased from 8. Oh, that is nothing. What? Penumbral Blast is intended to be a skill shot with a high payout, but the changes made in hotfix reduce its detonation size when impacting the environment can sometimes make it feel too inconsistent. I always thought it was crap. We're increasing the detonation side by 33% to increase its ease of use. Okay. Shadebinders will also directly benefit from the tuning changes being made to Glacier Grenades. Currently, Bleak Watcher's cooldown is directly tied to the base cooldown of Glacier Grenade. Regardless of grenade you have equipped with update 7.3, Glacier Grenade's cooldown is being reduced, which will also translate to lower Bleak Watcher cooldown. That's good for me. I'm telling you, I might go back to my Stasis Warlock. The cooldown penalties for Dustfield Grenade and Cold Snap when Bleak Watcher is equipped have also been updated so that their cooldown times match. Woohoo! That's great because I can use Cold Snap with Bleak Watcher. Cold Snap Grenades, fix an issue where Seeker was not consistently creating in the direction. Increased aiming shape. That's a plus. Tracking strength now it ramps down from full strength to 0 over the course of the grenade's lifetime, rather than immediately turning off after the Seeker has reached 0.5 second lifetime. Woo! Finally, we're increasing the bonus damage that special weapons deal to frozen targets by a small amount to help make shattering enemies feel more consistent. Special ammo weapons, 10%. Okay, I like that. These aren't the only changes for Stasis we have in the works, and we have some long requested changes for a future release that we'll discuss once we're closer. Here's a quick sneak preview. A new Stasis keyword we're intentively calling Frost Armor, aimed at addressing some of the player feedback regarding survivability when running Stasis, particularly when not using Whisper of Rhyme and Whisper of Chains. Ooh. So we're gonna Frost Armor. That looks hot. That sounds hot. Adding additional behavior to harvest aspects. Tune in next week for the full list of patch notes, which will include a few items that we didn't mention here. As always, we'll continue. So it's surprise. There's going to be things next week. Haha. Which I don't usually review those patch notes because I don't actually care until I get into the game and I notice that things feel worse. And I feel like abilities are just going to feel worse in general. Upcoming exotic armor and armor mod changes. Hunters. Shards of Galador. Now throwing knife kills grant super energy ranging between 2.5 and 5%, depending on the type enemy killed. I still don't think those will be useful because why waste when there's better throwing knife exotics? I tell you what, they really want you to build in with super. No one cares. No one will use this. I'm sorry. Ophidian Space. Knife kills now grant a stacking damage bonus to throwing knives. Dodging refreshes the duration. That is what I'm talking about. Why use this when this sounds hot? Not only that, but you're applying Radiant. So I'm rocking this as a hunter. I'm throwing a knife. I'm getting 100%. I throw it at a champion to finish it off after I got Radiant procced. I'm using Vex to just mow down champs. Throw a knife to finish them. Ooh. I honestly, this is going to be something. I'm interested to see how it does at endgame. Stompies! Feedback about the previous Stompies change indicated that requiring full class ability made movement while wearing this exotic feel too variable between its state and disproportionately hurt certain builds. In this update, we removed the requirement of having full dodge energy to activate the benefits and have reduced the bonus to airborne lateral accelerating that the exotic provides to be more in line with its other bonuses. Sprint speed, ground acceleration, airborne vertical acceleration, slide distance, and jump height. In terms of effectiveness, we also added damage resistance while airborne in PvE. Ooh, that's the one thing I always thought. It has never been good for PvE. A more desirable option outside of the Crucible and jumping puzzles, because they know. They know for PvE, that's all it's good for. How much reduced acceleration now provides damage resistance against but you're not going to tell me how much? Okay. Rejoice, Crucible Hunters. You are now able to jump freely. Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves. The sidearm damage bonus now persists for 5 seconds after your shield begins to recharge. Ooh. Sidearm kills extend the damage bonus duration for 3 seconds and completely reload your sidearm for reserves. Yeah, woo! The damage bonus has been reduced in PvP to compensate for its lasting longer. It is now a 10% sidearm damage, down from 35%. Bombardiers now applies 20 slow stacks to enemies players and 40 slow stacks to PvE combatants. Okay. Triton Vice, this piece of crap, increased glaive melee damage bonus while surrounded to 100% for both PvE and PvP, up from 30% in PvE and 10%. Whoa! PvP about to be triggered by this. At 100%. Yo, surrounded and having Triton Vice, that's a 200% damage increase. Hunters might be cracked. Think of it, literally, I'm trying to think which one. There is a current glaive that has surrounded on it. Wait, I think it's only a 50% increase. Maybe I'm getting over exaggerated thinking surrounded was 100%. It's not 100%. It's like, it would be 150% or something like that. Celestial Nighthawk. Precision kills now grant super energy. No one cares. No one cares. Titan, Severance Enclosure, the meme chess piece. Increased size and damage of the explosion. If it's good damage, it might be viable in endgame. Kills with exotic explosion will now trigger an additional explosion. Hot dang! Peregrine Greaves. You can now be airborne for a brief time before the exotic effects will apply. Damaging champions, tormentors, or mini bosses with a short charge deals to further increase damage and refunds your woo. Okay. Solar Titans can now. Well, I don't even know if they can. What benefit is this? Maybe for Void, because you get the overshield for killing something. So you finish a champion off. You shoulder charge it, you get This is Peregrine Greaves might be the new Titan build. Is it? I knew there were crazy builds already of Peregrine Greaves. Stacking that with the tractor cannon. Honestly, this might be juiced. Warm God Caress. The Burning Fist exotic has been reworked. It is now a meter that increases with melee kills and finishers and decays over time. The meter is broken up into 5 sections, which provide escalating melee and glaive melee damage bonuses. So now it also includes glaives. The upper end of the meter also provides escalating weapon damage bonuses. Whoa. As the meter decays, it passes back through the earlier tiers rather than deactivating immediately. The meter decays more quickly the more full it is. Okay, but how much damage? Is this a buff or is this a nerf? Is it going to do as much as it did before? I'm very interested. Like, Titans, your abilities got nerfed, but your exotics got buffed. It's really weird. Ashen Wake. Fusion grenades impact now stun unstoppable champions. Why didn't they do that a long time ago? It makes so much sense. Synthoceps. While we wanted to bring the generic melee bonus down a bit to give space for other more specialized melee exotics to shine in their specific niches, we felt it was safe to bring Synthoceps' glaive melee bonus back up to a substantial amount. We also have swapped the increased melee lunge range for increased weapon handling and reload speed. Removed extended melee lunge distance. Now improves weapon handling and reload while surrounded. Reduce the PvE surrounding melee damage from 165% to, so 40% nerf. Ew. Yikes. Increase glaive damage to 100%. I don't know. Precious Scars. Kills with weapons matching your subclass now apply Restoration Tier 1 for 1.5 in PvP and 3 seconds of PvE. Okay, so... I still don't think it's going to be that good, especially with Restoration getting nerfed. I think this is, no one gives a crap. And Titan, like, yeah, why use this crap? I think, yeah, it's crap. No one wants it. All right, Warlocks. Valador's Wraith Weavers. Now when you cast a Frost Pulse Rift, nearby allies gain a tier 2 stasis search weapon bonus. Woo! For 10 seconds in PvE and 5 seconds in PvP. They also gain a 50 HP overshield. What? The stasis damage bonus provided to allies by the Winter's Wraith Shockwave is now the tier 4 surge weapon bonus. When your Winter's Wraith ends, you gain the tier 4. Wow. Just activating it just gives it tier 4 bonus. Holy smokes. Apotheosis Veil. Let's see what they did to this. Casting your super now grants cure tier 3 for you and nearby allies. No one cares. Unless you're using this with Well. When they nerf Well, this might be the shout. I don't know. After your super ends, you now temporarily gain increased melee and grenade regeneration for 8 seconds. Again, we'll have to see with the nerfs to Well. This might be the new Well exotic. Fellwinter's Helm. Move the size of the weakening burst and duration of weaken up 1 tier against all enemies except for finishers against bosses, which retain the maximum size and duration. So it should do more. Karnstein Armlets. Melee kills now grant tier 3 and restoration 1 for 8 seconds. Finishers now grant cure 3 and restoration tier 2 for 8 seconds. I think this was a nerf. I'm not for sure. Aeon Cult. Aeon Swift, Aeon Safe, Aeon Soul exotic armors all receive the following changes to their Sec mods. Sec of Force. This has been reworked to provide all your allies significant bonus weapon damage against powerful combatants. The bonus grenade and melee energy has been moved to the special benefit granted. Bonus grenade has been moved to the special benefit granted to Aeon Cult allies using a different sec. Rapid precision hits provide quicker reload and weapon swap reloads. Or speed, sorry. And the bonus now lasts for 10 seconds, up from 6. No longer grants bonus melee, okay, on stunning a champion or defeating a boss. Instead, stunning a champion or rapid precision against a champion, elites, or mini bosses will mark them for your allies. Allies deal 20% more damage to marked targets. Wow. Crazy. When a target is first marked, nearby Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sector Force role equipped gain grenade and melee energy. Wow. Sect of Insight. Second had a strong role in in-game PvE teams, but we don't want to change that. The one modification we do want to make is changing the Aeon Cult ally bonus to be super energy instead of weapon damage, as we want Sector Force to be the source of weapon bonuses. Nearby Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Insight role equipped no longer gain a bonus to weapon damage for a short duration. Instead, they gain a burst of super energy. So we could still get our special ammo. Thank God. Sect of Vigor. Already had a strong theme as the supporting role in the Aeon Cult. We wanted to boost its effectiveness by having it provide damage resistance in PvE, in addition to its class ability benefits. Our goal is to make Sect of Vigor players shepherds for their team, keeping their allies near to protect them from harm. Now provides damage resistance against combatants when an ally dies or is resurrected, in addition to existing class ability energy. Oh. So you get class ability and you get damage resistance. When you cast your super, nearby allies no longer gain an instant burst of healing or overshield. Instead, nearby critically wounded allies grant damage resistance for combatants as long as they stay near you. Nearby Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Vigor role equipped will recover class ability energy more quickly. These are all the changes planned for exotic armor that will be available the moment Season of the Witch launches. As always, let us know how you feel about these. Try them in your favorite activities and keep that precious feedback coming. Armor changes! I'm just going to say these are all good. Even the ones that seem pointless right now, they might be good later. We'll have to see. There are definitely nerfs in here. There are definitely things that do not change or move the needle, like no one gives a crap. But most of these are good. I'm excited to see how they do. Armor changes. So we're nerfing abilities. We're also look like we're nerfing armor. In addition to the exotic changes listed above, we're also adjusting several armor mods. To reiterate what was touched on in the gameplay section, the high potential output of abilities means they need to have proportional uptime and requiring meaningful and sometimes difficult build crafting choices. Currently, the high watermark for ability uptime is higher than we liked. In order for us to hit our broader goal of ringing in the ability energy resource across the sandbox, we need to reduce the amount of energy fed into the energy economy via armor mods. Heavy-handed, firepower, and Reaper. These now have a 10-second cooldown for generating an orb power. Reaper also requires a kill to be secured within 10 seconds. Ooh, rest in peace. Yikes. Rest in peace, Reaper. Melee kickstart, grenade kickstart, and utility kickstart now provides between plus 16 and 45 ability energy. It requires at least a single armor charge to be consumed. Oh. Rest in peace, kickstart mods. Yikes. Wow. Yeah, the game just got worse, dude. Momentum transfer, bolstering detonation, impact induction, and focusing strike now provide 12, 17, 20% ability energy for 1, 2, 3 stacks, respectively, and acquire a powerful melee attack. Yikes. A power, so you have to have a power melee. Outreach and Bomber now provides 12, 17, and 20 ability energy, respectively. Outreach, Bomber, and Distribution. Outreach and Bomber now provide 12, 17 ability energy. Wait, you already stated what? Why is this here twice? Okay. Distribution now provides 4, 6, 7% ability energy. Energy provided is further reduced based on the cooldown of the class ability used. with the shortest cooldown, reducing it by 60%. We believe these changes will help return some meaningful choices for both ability usage and armor charge system, while still allowing each armor mod to provide a valuable effect. I don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about that. Yeah. And there you have it. Known issues. Don't care. Season of the Wish. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're making the game worse. I think making the player worse. It's removing the fun ability. Like, when I think of fun space magic, that's Destiny. But you make it where you can't do that often, or it feels worse to do. It's not going to be worth anyone's time, in my opinion. It's just not. It's just not going to be worth it. Let me know in the comments down below. I have to play it to see, but I feel like the game is going to be worse. It's going to feel worse. And I feel like build crafting just got a dump taken on it. I'm Sicky Icky, Mr. Gaming Counselor. Thank you for watching the whole thing. If you did, until next time, let me know in the comments down below what you think about these changes. What are you hyped for? What do you don't like? I'm all ears. Until next time, don't forget to be the best version of yourself. I'm going to go take a nap and see if I can clear out my sinuses. I'm dying here. So, RAP. Well, I'm not dead yet, but have a good one. Peace.